I'm ready.
We hear somebody.
Hear me now. I'm ready.
Oh, man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is. Tuesday. Brewsday Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah! It's time for Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here is Huck and Big Nate.
There you go. It was quiet.
Sounds like beer to me.
Sounds like beer to you. Here's a beer to you.
Cheers. That's the best way to start a Tuesday afternoon.
It is.
Evening.
So here we are. We've got some guests today from Solstice Brewing out Catawba way. I think we mentioned them last week.
We did.
Y'all want to chime in and talk about yourselves a little bit? Tell us about these beers we just opened.
Yeah, well, we're Solstice Farm Brewery. We're out in Catawba. We got two beers that we brought you today. One is a Toxic, our Belgian Quad Strong Ale.
Yep.
The other one?
Is our Michael or Mike Ale, which is an American brown ale. And hoppy, and we used the Cascade hops that we grew on the farm for the brown ale.
Yeah, I grew some hops one time. They go crazy, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to have like a 30-foot rope for them.
Yeah.
And the second year, I figured out that you put a piece of wood that hangs, and when you're ready to harvest, you just lift it up and let it come down and pick all the hops.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Do you get people over to help you with the hop harvest?
Some people. Yeah, my son, he's kind of obligated. But, yeah, we grow our own hops. We're adding another set this year, so that's always fun.
So wherever I live, I make beer, of course. We've discussed that. And I always call it Huck's Nano Brewery. Do you consider yourselves a nano brewery?
Oh, I think we're closer to a Pico. But
Pico.
yeah, we are. I call us an indigenous brewery. You know.
Yeah, I think you're definitely nano. I mean, you're not Pico. You haven't. You're never out of beer. I mean, I don't stop that often, but I've always gotten good beer every time I've come by, and I've been to some really small breweries. There was a place, I want to say it was in Floyd, where the guy would make like 40 growlers, and if you got there in time, you would get one. I don't think he's doing that anymore.
Oh, that's fun.
I know, and that's what he would make a batch of beer, and then he'd put it all in growlers and send out an email, and we'd all run over there and get some.
It's a race to the beer.
I'm sorry.
I said it's a race to the beer.
That's right, a beer race. Actually, I'm planning.
Best kind of race.
I think next week going to Tampa for a blues festival. I'm going to stop in Jacksonville at Ardwolf, where they make a 2.5 gallon batch every Tuesday, and you have to get there early if you want to. And they only serve like 4-ounce tasters of it.
Well, if you're there, who's going to be here with me?
I will have to do something remote.
You'll be drinking that 2.5 gallons of beer.
Actually, I'm not going to get there on a Tuesday, but I will bring some beer back from the Ardwolf. One of my favorite breweries in the world, just like Solstice, one of my favorite breweries.
Oh, how sweet.
Solstice is on my commute to Fincastle, where I still have some business interests.
I feel like I've told you this before. If you've retired, it's no longer a commute. You're just driving.
But it's kind of work.
Yeah.
Well, usually I go up there and drink beer with my people, go up on the roof, the 1772.
Again, not work, Huck.
That's work. That's hard work.
Market research.
Watch.
Exactly.
See the arm curl? Arm curl.
Uh-huh.
That's working out. That's different.
So what, so you guys were like the first year you didn't open on the winter, but now you are, right?
We did that by popular demand. We had a lot of local people who were farming during the summer, busy, mowing grass and taking care of the cattle, and they said the winter, we have time.
Yeah, we have time.
Be open.
Please be open. And we found out that winter we missed it too. suddenly,
Yeah.
like, well, what are we doing with ourselves?
Right.
Might as well be, making more great beer and serving it and having entertainment. And
So how many years you guys been in this now?
It'll be 3 years in July.
Okay.
yeah.
You started about the time I got out of the hospital.
I do recall that you wandered in.
Yeah, with my air pack and all that.
You're memorable. We'll
Yeah.
put it that way.
Hey, I never really let stuff really get me down for too long.
No, I was impressed.
Yeah, well, apparently a lot of people, were helping me along, so there's that. I had a good support team. They even let me do some shows early. I could barely breathe, but I was still drinking beer and talking about it.
Oh. Yeah, it's amazing how much your voice has just come back to normal.
It's still not normal. I was
It's-
listening to one from like 5 years ago, and I said, I still got a little work. I was thinking about getting a voice coach, but then I said, that sounds like work too.
What
And
your
it's
commute
not
to
a-
the voice coach?
What's that?
I said your commute to the voice coach.
Yeah, that would be. Could I write that off of my taxes?
I would think so.
I don't pay taxes.
It's
Don't
a
worry,
deduction.
no taxes.
It's a deduction.
You have to make money to make the deductions work.
And that's right. Everybody's like, oh, well, it's a write-off. Yeah, well, first you got to
And
have
that's
something to
money.
write off.
Yes,
You know,
that's one of the things we've learned about
you
this.
can't write zero off. Yeah, I went into business for myself like 30 years ago, and the first 2 years I had been a banker. I was pretty well off, right? Well, after 2 years, I figured out you have to work. You have to self-motivate. Because I was just blowing through money. I was like, okay, I don't have any money now, so I went back to work. There's some rough times, but it ended up okay.
Yeah, as long as you had a good time.
Yeah, that's the main thing about life. I would suggest
Exactly.
that to everybody.
It's the path.
If you don't like what you're doing, don't do it.
Right.
Of course, there's a corollary to that is like if you have to do the stuff you don't want to do so you can do the stuff you do want to do.
True.
So I have to drive to Fincastle so I can drink
At our
See, it
place
was work.
on
It's
the
Not a
way.
commute.
on the way or the way back. Usually the way back.
I
I
refuse
need to
to.
figure out how to get the RV up in there.
Hey,
Then
Lot of
it's definitely not a commute at that point because what is the R in RV for?
Recreational vehicle.
Yeah, that's not a commute, Huck.
It's not an RV.
If you- if
Wait,
you're
it's a
bringing-
BV. It's a beer V. Yeah, see, technicality right there, buddy. And since it's beer and I'm a beer, I'm here, I'm working, right? Today, we're working. Watch
okay.
me work.
You'll just stretch anything to fit your needs. I've
Yeah,
noticed.
exactly. Well, that's how it works.
That's Huck making the system work for him.
So if you had to do it all over, would you do anything different after 3 years?
started 15 ago.
Yeah, there you go.
Been doing it longer, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like you
think-
said, we did other things so that we could do what we wanted to do eventually.
Well, I travel and drink a lot of beer at a lot of places, and and I will say this about your brewery is normally I go into brewery in the first year, and I have very low expectations, and in your case, I was very pleased with your early beers, and they're definitely getting a lot better now. So I mean that's a good thing, I think it helps that you're small, and you're not really trying to do everything for everybody. I think a lot of people make the mistake of I got to have 20 beers. You don't have to have 20 beers.
No.
You could have 4 or 5 good beers and you'll be all right.
Or our 11.
You got 11? Well, 11's all right.
We have 11 plus, another 10 in bottles. But I do think it matters that it's small batch and we control everything.
How many batches do you make a week on average?
2 to 3.
2 to
Some
3.
4 in the spring and fall when it's busier.
Yeah, But making sure that the IPAs are really fresh, coming out the gate, every week. Being able to do the lagers for the entire time they need to really get
Yeah,
to
it
be
takes a while. I've only
quality.
made like 3 lagers. But I have a refrigerator that's basically a kegerator and a lager.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
it for both.
We lager in our walk-in cooler.
Yeah,
And
it works nicely.
And give it time. There are some beers that really do need
Yeah,
time. to-
I think the next half of this show, we're going to drink some big beers, and they take time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to a brewer one day, and I said, why don't you make a barley wine? He said, we don't have time. We're
Ain't nobody
busy.
got time for that.
We are busy. We're not making a barley wine.
Right.
I said,
Yeah.
don't you have that little small batch? He goes, yeah, but how long would that last? I tap it at 6 o'clock on Friday, it'd be done by 10.
Yeah, but you do some stuff because it's worth doing.
Right, and then charge me $10 for a 4-ounce
Yep.
pour. I'll pay it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. And for the art of it.
right? Beer is art. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, Brewer's art. That's one of my favorite breweries up in Baltimore, and their beer is definitely art.
Mm-hmm.
They make a green pepper beer. Y'all tried that yet?
No, but we have someone who
It sounds
keeps
like it.
asking us to make a habanero beer.
Oh, I love those. I'll drink that.
Yeah.
So
Peppers and beer are just phenomenal. I'm still, the holy grail for me is still that dill pickle goza
That was something.
from, where were they?
Don't ask me. I can't remember my own
The place in
name.
Blacksburg, Left Hand Brewing?
Left mind, right
Left,
mind.
Right Mind
Right,
Brewing.
right. Yeah, the left is right. Oh,
Best
but no,
beer
the
I've
right is left.
Ever had. It was a dill pickle goza.
Yeah,
It was
now he
absolutely
was
wild.
he was a crazy brewer.
Very much so.
Hopefully he's not listening. Yeah, I went in there one day. He's I'm making a sour. I'm like, well, that looks like your main system. He goes, yeah, I don't care. I'm like, you might care later.
Yeah.
When your IPA's a sour.
Yeah.
You know, but
you're-
I've heard some horror stories on that.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason that they no longer exist, I'm sure.
They still act like they exist. That's what cracks me up.
Ugh,
They haven't made a beer in 6 years or so.
yeah.
But then, you know, there's a lot of little breweries around, you know. And I have to admit, I don't go as often to some. Was it the Red Door, Maroon Door? Haven't been in there in a while. But the guy the brewer there, he's probably going to listen to this. He was a home brewer, and I actually judged and gave 2 of his home brews the winner. But I don't think he translated as well into brewing. I mean, it's okay, but I mean, you know, it wasn't the winner. He didn't go to the Great American Beer Festival and bring home a gold medal, I don't think.
Did he submit?
I don't know.
You got to play
Yeah, you got
to
to play.
win.
I was sitting in a little brewery up in Harrisonburg. Can't remember the name of it. Oh, we've had them on the show, but anyway, I was sitting at the bar and I was doing my usual thing. I got 11 tasters and I'm tasting them. I start checking them in, and the beer was mediocre at best. Okay, in my opinion, but it only checked into the best ones. So I'm giving it like a 3.75 and a 3.5, and I'm making some comments. And there's a guy across the bar. It's like a horseshoe bar on a laptop. And he finally looks at me and goes, "Are you Huck?" I go, "Well, yeah." He goes, "Well, what's wrong with my beer?" And I was like, "Well, it's not great." He goes, "Well, that's just mean." I said, "Well, I'm just being honest with you." You know, anyway, long story short, 2 months later, he wins a friggin' silver medal at the Great American Beer Festival.
Good
So
for
I had to
him.
eat my crow.
Well, maybe you gave him the impetus to improve.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not
what it
sure I
is.
drank that beer.
That's what it is.
Huck motivated him.
Fire something, fire. The brewery's fire or something.
Pale fire.
Pale fire. And then it turns out that a friend of mine, Senator Trumbo's son, was one of the brewers. So, you know, it's down home. I love them now. They're great. Best Pale Fire. Go get some. Actually, Harrisonburg's a good beer town. You got, you know, 3 Notch. You got brothers or 3 brothers or 2 brothers. We don't know how many brothers there are.
There's some brothers.
There's some brothers, and they make beer. So why don't we rate these, and we'll come back.
Well, I was waiting on you. I'm ready to rate him.
Okay, what do you got?
Big Nate Danger on Untapped. He's Huck's Beer Buzz.
Are y'all on Untapped?
Yeah.
Just as a company or personally?
Just personally.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
What's your handles?
I don't even remember.
Hey,
Gotta remember what it is.
I might be Earth Muffin.
Earth Muffin.
Yeah, I used to teach environmental science.
That's not where I was going with
I
that.
know.
Oh, Lord.
That's why I thought I'd better interject.
Where,
No.
where did you teach
You cut
environmental
that one off
science?
the
We're just
pass.
going to
I was-
ignore him.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
In Central Virginia.
Gotcha.
A long time ago. It's what, 5 years?
Well, you and I had the same one. I'll let you rate first, Huck.
Well, you know, not a fan of brown ales, but this one's delicious. And we have a rule here, and I'm not going to pad it. I'm just going to say I love your brewery. I love your beer. I love you all. It's a 5. It's always going to be a 5. You bring me beer, it's going to be a 5.
Oh, we heart you.
I can't wait for the next one though.
Yeah, you need to drive the quad.
If I'm being entirely honest, I'm right there with Huck. Brown ales have never been my favorite. It's not one, like, it's not my least favorite. It's just not the one I go to. For the style, this is a perfect example. I'm
It is.
also
It's
going to
perfect.
align with you. It's a 5.
I mean, you couldn't make a better beer, a better brown beer than that. That's just perfect.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have a brown on the menu. You're right. A lot of people, it's not their go-tos, but it's good to have that medium something and making it an American style so it has a little bit more hop to
What's the
counter.
ABV on it?
5%.
5.
What's on this one? The quad.
10.
10.
Yeah, so double the fun.
Huck session beer.
Got any questions I should know I know the answer to, Huck? I'm winning this
Yeah.
quiz show.
Yeah. Who's your favorite radio host?
Me.
No, this is not true. It's me.
I mean,
You want to arm
do,
wrestle?
do you want me to be really honest with you?
No.
It's actually Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper. Is he a radio host?
Yeah, Nights with Alice Cooper. It's a great show.
Oh, mercy.
So I'm not even my favorite. Sorry, Huck.
Oh, well.
All right, well, we've untapped these, and we got another round
Do
coming
we have
up.
a song?
Do we have a song? Do we have a song we want to hear?
That was
I
your
warned
task.
you.
You did.
Yeah.
We could do James Brown for
Oh, I
Brown.
like that.
I feel good.
I feel good.
Feel-
All right.
There you go.
There we go. That's coming up right here on 105.3 The Bear.
That's our favorite part.